Welcome, tarot enthusiasts and curious minds alike. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to embody power and authority? Well, here on Tarot 101 today, we're going to be talking about this. We're also going to be talking about how these qualities can shape our lives, both positively and negatively. We're embarking on an exciting journey into the world of tarot, looking at one of its most compelling archetypes, the Emperor, from the Rider-Waite deck. So grab your cards, grab your notebook and pen, settle in, and let's dive deep into the rich symbolism of the Emperor. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Hi there, Dr. Ember here, and today, my magical peeps, we are going to be looking into the Emperor here on Tarot 101. Now, if you want to know more about me, go ahead and check out my bio in the description, and if you wish to actually get a tarot reading from me, you can purchase that on Hypesy. Okay, my magical peeps, let's dive right on into this amazing card. You see, this is one of those cards that has found its way into other things. All across pulp icon culture, you will see the Emperor represented. You will also see it represented in psychology, as well as most of your religious mythos. The symbolism of the Emperor is very unique, as you can see here. It's a card steeped in powerful imagery. So let's break down some of these essential symbols right now associated with one of the most formidable figures that we have ever seen. So let's take a look at his throne. Because his throne represents stability and authority. Now, this also represents his ability to be a king. His ability to be more focused, more controlling. He provides leadership for his people. Now, the ram's heads that you see here in the card symbolize leadership and determination. And when you combine leadership, stability, and authority, and determination, it brings us to our next symbol, the scepter, which is definitely a sign of control, of power, of rulership, kingship. The armor itself that the Emperor wears reflects protection, but also rigidity. You see, each element tells a story about governance, structure, and the challenges that come with wielding power. Now let's break that down even further. As we gaze at the throne of the Emperor card, let's notice its grandeur. This isn't just any seat. It represents authority and stability. Think of it as Mount Olympus, home to the wise leaders who guide us through life's tumultuous challenges. The intricate details etched into the throne are not mere decoration. They symbolize structure and control. In your journey towards success, remember that having a strong foundation is the key. Just like the Emperor commands respect with his presence, so too can you build your empire upon solid ground. Look closer at those rams adorning his armor. They represent determination and courage, qualities essential for leaders everywhere. When adversity strikes, channel that fierce spirit within you to forge ahead confidently. But here's the real magic. While the Emperor embodies rules and discipline, he also teaches us about balance in power. As we lead ourselves towards greatness, let our hearts remain open and compassionate. Remember, the emperor stands tall on his throne of wisdom. So when you embrace leadership with both strength and kindness, because true power lies in knowing how to inspire others along their path, you truly embody the seat of the emperor. Now, my magically minded peeps, let's go ahead and take a look at the ram's head symbolism that we find on the Emperor card in a lot of decks, because a lot of them have their symbology based off of the Rider-Waite deck, which is what we're using here today. So the mighty ram's head is a unique figure here on this card, because the Emperor card itself is all about authority, stability, and structure, qualities vital for any leader. But what does that striking ram's head mean? Well, it represents determination and assertiveness, qualities that define true rulers. Picture this. Rams are known for their boldness. They charge into challenges head first. They're a bit stubborn and feel that they can get the job done. They're also very masculine in their reign, shall we say, since they are the male mountain sheep. Now, here's the thing. When you take a look back at this and you look at these qualities for a leader, and you embrace things with ambition and courage, the ram's head symbolizes not just raw power, but also strategic thinking. A reminder that great leaders need both heart and mind. You see, in ancient cultures, rams were associated with Aries, the sign of pioneers and trailblazers. This potent energy encourages us to break boundaries and pursue our goals relentlessly. And I know a lot of you are thinking also that Aries is the god of war. In certain mythos, you are correct. But he also had a ram's head symbol that most people don't know about, because it was the sign of pioneers and trailblazers. This is the medicine of the ram. This potent energy encourages us to break boundaries and pursue our goals relentlessly, no matter what. Be stubborn. So next time you gaze at the Emperor card or you face obstacles in life, understand that let those ram's heads inspire you to push forward with confidence, authority, dignity. The symbology on the ram's head on the Emperor reminds us that within each of us lies boundless potential. So channel your inner Emperor. Take charge of your destiny today. Be bold like that ram, facing it down adversity. If this insight ignites you, something in you, anything in you, start taking action right now, because that is what this is partly telling you on your subconscious level. It just takes one step towards empowerment, and you're going to see things change. Now, the scepter is more than just an accessory. It represents authority and leadership. Picture it as a beacon guiding your path towards stability and power. Just like how a king rules his kingdom with confidence, this scepter invites you to embrace your own inner strength. Now think about this. What does true power mean to you? It's not just command over others. It's about self-mastery and responsibility. When you see the scepter in readings, it signifies that now is the time for solid decision-making and taking charge of your life. With each glance at its golden sheen, Remember, you have the ability to shape your destiny. Harness that energy when faced with challenges. Okay? So the next time you look at the Emperor card, look closely at the scepter. If it is a straight scepter, it is exactly as I have described. However, in some of the decks that are based off the Rider-Waite, okay, the scepter is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be possibly an ankh in the right hand, which is the Egyptian symbol of life, and in the left hand will be an orb representing the world over which he rules. Okay? Now, before we get into the actual armor, in some decks also there is a robe over the armor the emperor wears. Usually it is red, it can also be purple. Okay? This indicates his power, his passion, and his energy for life, his spiritual authority. Underneath that, he does wear a suit of armor, and this suggests that he is protected from any threat and any emotional response or vulnerability. The armor keeps you safe. Now, his long white beard is symbolic of his age old wisdom and experiences that come with it. Along with his golden crown, he is an authority figure who demands to be heard. Okay? Now, in some decks, there is things behind the emperor. Usually it's like some mountain range or cosmos or something like that, right? So you have to understand that when you take a look at all the symbolism of the emperor, and you realize that his throne with the ram's heads and the scepters and the power that he commands through this, right? Because there's 4 ram's head on all decks. 2 on the chair arms and then 2 on the chair backing. This is a solid foundation, but they're very resistant to making any changes unless it's deemed necessary. There is usually some sort of a water element in this slightly, and that usually means there's some small hope that despite this man's tough exterior, he still has an emotional side. It just takes a lot of digging and trust to get him to open up to a softer side. And that's okay. It really, really is. Okay? Now, he is the father figure in the tarot deck. And the Emperor suggests that if you are adopting this fatherly role, regardless whether you are male or female, providing for your family and protecting and defending your loved ones is what's needed here. You may be the breadwinner or the rock for those who rely on you because of stability and security. We also see here in this picture, which is the classical Rider-Waite imagery, that the emperor is surrounded by a cherubim, or what we consider to be the small golden angel class. This shows his divinity and his authority over the principalities of the air, of the earth, of the land, and of the sea. This also shows that his power is absolute, and going forward, there will be none that challenges him. Now that we have explored the symbology of the emperor, let's talk about a few other things, like the positive traits that the emperor embodies. We definitely know that leadership is in this card. This card encourages us to take charge in our lives or situations where guidance is needed. There is stability that is represented here because it represents a solid foundation, whether it be in relationships or careers. Now, responsibility is indicated here also because with great power comes great responsibility. The emperor teaches us to lead wisely going forward, everyone who may follow. And remember, you may not even realize you have followers, just people watching, emulating you. That's why you must always watch what you say, watch what you do, and make sure you put out the image of a leader at all times. These traits can inspire us during readings by reminding us to embrace our inner leader. Now, Now, the Emperor is the father figure of the tarot deck. The Emperor suggests that you are adopting this fatherly role, like it or not, okay? It is all about providing for your family, protecting and defending your loved ones. You may be the breadwinner or the rock for those who rely on your stability and your security, and that's okay. That's all indicated here by the Emperor. Similarly, the Emperor represents a powerful leader who must demand respect and authority. Status and power and recognition are essential to you, and you're most comfortable in a leadership role where you can command and direct others. Now, as a leader, you rule with a firm but fair hand. You have a clear vision of what you want to create, and you organize those around you to manifest your goal. You listen to the advice of others, but you prefer to have the final say. This is all traits of the Emperor card. And when you draw the Emperor and you reflect on the Emperor, you have to draw these traits into you, right? And help improve your life with it, because that's what it is. We are the fool on this journey, and we have met our father figure. We have met the one that commands authority and respect in our lives. And we have been shown that we need to emulate him. Okay. When you are a leader, you should be ruling with a fair but firm hand. You have a clear vision of what you want to create, and you organize those around you to manifest your goal appropriately. You listen to the advice of others. However, you prefer to have the final say. Conflict doesn't scare you at all. You laugh at it, actually. And you won't hesitate to use your power to protect those you care about. Losing someone you care about is devastating. And in return, those people will repay you with loyalty and the respect that you deserve. So when you claim your authority as a leader, an influencer, don't let others put you down. Once again, these are all traits of the Emperor that you can embody within yourself. Now, the Emperor reflects a system bound by rules and regulations. You create law and order by applying principles or guidelines to a specific situation. When you create calm out of chaos by breaking down any problem into its parts and then mapping out your actions that you need to take in order to resolve this, it actually strengthens you. And these are part of the characteristics of the Emperor as the divine leader, as the divine counterpart to the Empress, as the father figure in the tarot deck. When you are systematic, strategic, and highly organized in your approach on your day-to-day life, things change. And you end up sticking to your plan to the end, seeing it through. Now, the Emperor card also signifies world knowledge and expertise. Though the course of your life, you've gained valuable wisdom and life experience, right? But now, with the help of the Emperor, and you've hit that point in your life where you are older, you are wiser, you enjoy offering guidance, advice, and direction to someone who might benefit from it. You may be a teacher, a coach, a boss, or just a good friend who likes to take what you have learned and pass it on to others so they can be as wise and as powerful as you. Now, here's the thing. With the Emperor, you realize that there are certain physical characteristics here at all times that must be taken into account. Okay, yes, technically, a lot of people say the cards don't denote gender. This is one of those cards, like the Empress, that actually does, because it is the father figure in the deck. You're looking at an older male, over 40. 40, 50 is usually when it starts. Graying at the temple. Usually they have brown hair that is going white or silver. Usually they have darker colored eyes. They are very wise. They are very resolute. They are very authoritarian. It's like they can step into a room and they have everybody's attention. They know their mind. They know how to project that. They are also very, very involved in business matters. I've actually heard from a lot of people that The Emperor in the tarot deck represents the Odin Allfather archetype because he is providing for everyone, because he is nurturing. People feel safe around him. Very wise counsel to be sought. Now, in my Encyclopedia of Tarot Divination, it tells me that the general meaning and interpretation of an emperor states that the emperor represents an older man who is good in business and usually wealthy. The emperor is a solid, stable man. He's a powerful, grounded protector, but he also can be rigid and stubborn. This can be a father or a father figure type, or an older man you are romantically involved with. The emperor is a hard taskmaster and has little time for fun and frivolity. Children of the emperor can struggle with father issues, as falling short of his high expectations can affect their self-esteem. If the Emperor Tarot card appears in a past position, the Major Arcana card can indicate that the father figure in your life was authoritarian and that while he had your best interests at heart, he may have struggled to show affection. If it appears in the present or future position, it's a much better omen, as it indicates a wise older man who will give you solid advice, which, if you follow it, will lead you in the right direction. Generally, if not representing a person in your life, the Emperor signifies the dominance of logic over emotion and of the mind over the heart. It signifies that concentration, structure, stability, and focus are required if you want to make your ideas and dreams a reality. The Emperor upright can also represent fatherhood and all that it conveys. Okay? Now, that said, the Emperor in its upright position, it can be in a lot of different things. So let's talk about some of those positions in a tarot deck. I'm actually going to be switching to another book here. This is going to be the symbology of tarot and how it relates to the modern world. I kid you not. This book is from someone called Jane R. Serioso. I think that might be a pen name. Regardless, it is a spiral-bound notebook type thing that I received at a class from Tarot. So we're going to go ahead and let you know what they say here. Because of the fact that it is in the positive position for love and upright, okay, this actually changes things a little bit. Because if you're single and interested in men, the Emperor in a love tarot context can indicate a romantic relationship with an older man. He will like structure, order, and logic and routine. He'll be good influence on you, but romance is not his strong point. He is, however, practical, dependable, and protective. If you're single and you're interested in women, the Emperor Tarot is a sign that you need to be more open with your feelings. If you have feelings for someone in particular, you need to bite the bullet and tell them. Don't expect them to guess. For those already in a relationship, the Emperor is a good omen of monogamy and a long-standing relationship. If you've been experiencing relationship problems, however, they do begin to improve and stability will return to the relationship. Now, the same book does talk about it in a career and money situation in the upright. I'm going to go ahead and read that to you here. I'm going to actually read you a lot of what they have, simply because, guys, this actually puts it really, really well. And I've mentioned this before. I just didn't have the book here in front of me. And that's okay. I was going for my notes. I've gotten the book out of storage, so that helps. Because when you look at the Emperor in a money and a career setting, you really need to understand that it changes a lot of things in a reading. Because in a career context, it indicates that your hard work will be noticed and you will reap the rewards of status and success. Concentration, focus, and perseverance will get you where you want to go. However, if you're looking for work and you need to be persistent on this and very logical in your job search, okay? Don't go out driving the road seeing if something's available. Look online, is what they're saying. Figure out a better way to do this, okay? Now, there also means that good opportunities are coming that will bring structure and stability to your career and your financial situation. Again, it can be a sign that an older male colleague or boss will also be providing guidance and support in your general direction. Financially, the Emperor is a sign that you need to be responsible and practical with your finances. Budget. Make sure everything is paid for. Make sure you are responsible. Okay? And at the same time, you don't need a tyrant when it comes to controlling spending. Just know where your money's going and keep reasonable control of your spending habits. Now, in a health setting here, the Emperor can mean that you have been working too hard. Okay? You've been too hard on yourself. You've been working too hard. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to reduce or eliminate activities that are too harsh on your body. Avoid punishing exercise regimens and be kind to yourself, okay? If you're sore that day, go work out in the pool. Don't necessarily go lift another 150 reps of whatever it is that hurt you yesterday. I don't go to the gym. I'm going to be honest. I go swimming. I don't go to the gym right now. So, whatever they call it, okay? Now, here's the thing. You work with your energy levels, not against them. So if you're tired, do less, okay? Get that heart rate up, keep it going, I get that. However, you don't need to push yourself. The suck it up and get on with it approach is not going to serve you this time. If you need to rest, rest. And if you're ill, seek medical treatment and listen to your doctor's advice, because that way you're going to get better. Now, in the spirituality setting of a tarot reading, the Emperor Tarot in a spirituality context can indicate that you are neglecting the spiritual part of yourself for more physical, material side. Make time for the spiritual pursuits and try not to let the logical, rational part of your mind take over and stop you from exploring your sensitive side. If you are currently engaged in spiritual pursuits, please continue on because these are helping you. But it does let you know that you do need to ground and protect yourself. So up until now, we've been talking about all of the positive aspects of the Emperor. So what happens if you get the Emperor in reversed? Let's go ahead and flip him over and we'll talk about that. Now, with the Emperor in the reversed position, it does change things a little bit. So let's talk about some of those reversed positions here. The first thing that you need to know is when the Emperor reversed calls on you to assess your relationship with power, control, authority, responsibility, and discipline, that is something you really need to take seriously. Because one of the things the Emperor wants you to take a look at is, are you expressing too much or too little of these elements in your life right now? Make sure that you journal on that, okay? And you journal on, are they working for you or against you? Now, in the reversed position, the Emperor can be domineering and rigid in his thinking. The card can suggest an overuse of abuse of authoritative power surrounding you. It could originate from you or from another person, however. Often a boss, partner, or other father figure. And it may be because of some deep insecurities or father issues from childhood. Consider the role that power plays in your life. Are you asserting your power and dominance in a way that leaves others feeling powerless? Or are you encouraging them and supporting them in what they have to do? Are you giving away your personal power to please someone else? Perhaps a father figure or a person in authority. These are all indicated by the tarot card here in reverse. Now, once again, journal about this in your own life so that this helps you see these things and can learn from this. Because remember, that's exactly what this is. The Fool is learning about all these different traits on his journey. Seek to find a solution where you lead from a place of personal power and enable others to do the same. Power can equally and constructively be distributed. You don't need to take it from others, nor do you need to give yours away. You need to stand in your power. Now, the Emperor reversed may be a sign that others do look to you as their leader or an expert in the field, but that you are shying away from. Something about this role. Okay, so let me explain. When you shy away from a role that you're supposed to be playing, you are not being your authentic self. And in this case, you are not being a leader. You're actually being a coward. You may fear being seen as the leader, which is why I say that. Instead, prefer to hide in the shadows or stay out of the spotlight and get the job done. There's nothing wrong with that. There may be other ways you can make an impact and influence the world, such as authoring a book or training others to reach bigger audiences. Sometimes the Emperor reversed asked you to stand up to authority. You may feel fed up with an overbearing boss or a hierarchical organizational government, and you may feel compelled to enter a more flexible and adaptive environment. Maybe you aspire to be your own boss and work independently by starting your own business. Or you may seek a career where you can have greater flexibility and creativity in how you complete your work. You're sick of having to always work within the confines of particular structures or way of doing things, and you want to break free from it. This is what the Emperor reversed tells me in regards to career. You see, when the Emperor reversed pops up in a tarot reading, pay attention to your commitment, to your goals, and your self-discipline to get the job done. If you're struggling to see any real outcomes, take a step back. Check that you have a plan in place, a routine to support it, and the dedication to see it through. You may need to get a little tough on yourself, but hey, we are our own worst enemy. Just remember, you're trying to motivate yourself and to get a job done, not sabotage your self-confidence. And I get it. Sometimes this is uncomfortable work that you'd prefer to avoid. But that's where the strength of the Emperor really does kick in. If you can harness the positive, upright energy of the Emperor, your efforts will lead to success. No matter what happens, you can flip the script. Now, in a relationship reading, the Emperor reversed suggests you may be in an unequal partnership, and it's making you unhappy in the long term. Your significant other has become overbearing, possessive, dominating, and authoritative. While you may have been looking for a partner to take care of you and offer a stable foundation for your future, these qualities have gone too far the other side, and it seems as though much of your independence and freedom has been taken away. This dynamic is putting a strain on the relationship and preventing a flow of energies between you and your partner. Now, when that happens, it's very easy to cause a lot of miscommunications, anger, frustration, that type of thing. Just remember, this is usually an imbalance of power in the relationship, which is causing conflict or unhappiness. Okay? Usually there's one partner that's trying to control another. Regardless, in a love and relationship reading, being possessive, stubborn, or overbearing is always shown by the Emperor in reverse. Now, this type of behavior will lead to other partners feeling trapped, controlled. You start developing an eggshell mentality. The Emperor reversed shows that there needs to be balance between wanting structure in a relationship and being a control freak. It doesn't work if you're a control freak. You got to balance this. You have to learn to compromise with your partner. Now, if you are single, the Emperor reversed can indicate that your father issues are leading to destructive patterns in your choice of partners. And I am going to say that you may not realize this, but if you take a step back and you look at personality patterns and how you're treated, you will see this. You need to resolve these issues to avoid attracting those who would take advantage of you. Narcissists, those with dark Machiavellian traits, psychopaths. This is all indicated by the Emperor here. And it's also saying that if you indicate a lack of commitment, flirting from one partner to another, and a lack of monogamy, in essence, rebelling again against what the Emperor represents. Because the Emperor is monogamy. He is steadfast loyalty. Okay? Now, I want to go back and touch a little bit more on the career area that we just spoke of. Because in the career context, the Emperor reversed shows a lack of consistency, focus, and organization. It leads to problems at work. Tempers get unbalanced as well very quickly. People get resentful, burn out. If you're finding the restrictions that work imposes on you really starting to bother you, it actually may be time for a change. You got to really search yourself on that one. There is another job, perhaps, in a chosen field that would give you greater freedom, and if that's the case, then you need to take it. There are options to consider, and when you consider all options, you find the best path. Because that is that wisdom, that is that stability going forward. Financially speaking, you may be lacking control of your finances if the Emperor Tarot appears in a reversed position. Budget, okay? Maybe you need the help of a professional for debt consolidation. That can be okay here too. So let's talk about the Emperor in the reversed health position. Now, in a health context, the Emperor reversed indicates that you might be too rigid with your routine and causing yourself undue stress. This may be manifesting in physical symptoms like headaches or poor sleep patterns. Pushing your body too far can also cause injuries. You need to listen to yourself and work with yourself, like we talked about earlier. Do not be afraid to loosen up on the routine and give yourself time to relax and unwind. I cannot state that enough. Alternatively, can't talk. Alternatively, if you have not been taking care of your health, the Emperor here reversed can show you need to increase your self-discipline to bring yourself back to good health. Now, because of this, when the Emperor shows up reversed, always take a good hard look at your health patterns and see where you can improve them immediately, because that's the universe's way of going, hey, this is exactly what needs to be. Now, when the Emperor appears reversed in relations to spirituality, it can indicate wanting to explore alternative spiritual paths. You're fed up with what you've got. It's not vibing right for you anymore. While it's good to allow yourself to explore these paths, it's important that you come into contact with new spiritual advisors. You still remember to think for yourself and only take what works for you, how it vibes right, because everybody's got their own opinion. And because of that, it interprets the facts differently. So in conclusion, upright. The Emperor is an older man. He's stable. He's dependable. There's a lot of fatherhood vibes here. Definitely a father figure type person. There's a lot of structure, protectiveness, authority. There's logical application and practical application as well. A lot of common sense. Okay? Now, in the negative, in a conclusion, the reversed meaning basically means abuse of power, excessively controlling, rigidity, stubbornness, lack of discipline, lack of control, absentee father, paternity issues. And when you really struggle with these things in your life and you embrace the emperor and you learn from the emperor in a way that cannot ever be undone, because once you incorporate this, like the fool does on his journey, he incorporates these things into a life, it changes him. So as we wrap up on our exploration into the world of the emperor today, remember that this card embodies both strength and caution. A true reminder that with power comes responsibility. So if you enjoyed this journey through the tarot symbolism today, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts below. What does the emperor mean for you? What did you find as the most valuable takeaway from today's video? And if you're eager for more mystical content like this, make sure you subscribe for future videos. Thank you for joining me here today on this enlightening adventure in Tarot 101. Until next time, I'm Dr. Ember. Keep exploring your tarot journey. Love and light, peace and progress. I'm out.